take the skills that you already possess, things that people come to you for. If you're wondering, if you're struggling with this, what do people come to you for? What do people ask you about? I would say you can also marry that with what do you enjoy doing? What are you passionate about doing? What have you taken courses for? Even if it's YouTube University, what have you invested a lot of time and energy in so that you're a little further ahead than everyone? And again, you don't need to be the #1 world expert at this. Welcome to Inside the Audition, the podcast where we go behind the scenes for a deep dive look into the world of auditions. I'm Joe Lars Larson, creator of Actors Audition Club, an international community helping actors book your dream roles in TV, film, and theater.
And I'm Brandon Knox, actor, producer, and co-host. Each episode, we chat with actors and industry professionals to share their audition experiences, insights, and advice.
We provide actors with actionable tips, strategies, and resources to help you elevate your auditions.
We demystify the often intimidating and misunderstood world of auditions to help you succeed.
So whether you're just starting out on your acting journey or you're a seasoned pro, join our Actors Audition Club members as we go
Inside the Audition.
Yeah! Welcome to episode 139. Here we are at Inside the Audition. It's me, Balloon Man.
Oh, hello, Balloon Man. And how are you doing on this fine Wednesday afternoon?
Woo-wee! Does that answer your question, Brandon Knox, a.k.a. the Broiler?
Oh, you know it does, Happy Face Balloon.
Yeah, we're having a good time, and we're going to live forever, my man. That's right. Balloon Man.
Oh.
So sorry, folks. We're going to plug on with episode 139. That was not expected. Rip Balloon Man. We were toying with the idea of a third co-host. I was like, great, Balloon Man. Why don't you open the show? You and BK can do this cool, fun thing. And now Balloon Man's dead.
I'm crushed. I'm deflated. And the episode's just begun, Lars.
Are we live already? Are we already?
Yeah. We're live.
Oh, crap. We don't have that 7-second delay thing?
No.
Just in case Balloon Man ever dies on air, we can't be like, no, cut it.
Cut the bit. We're not going to do the bits.
Maybe I should apologize to all the people listening to the podcast if that burst your eardrums. I don't know how does a balloon exploding come across on the mic? Maybe the mic just cuts it out. Maybe it was too loud.
I think the mic did cut it out because I didn't hear it.
Yes. Oh, no?
No.
Oh, perfect. I heard it. What? Huh?
Yeah, help me.
Welcome, everyone. I'm fired up for this for many reasons. It's going to be a fantastic episode. I'll tell you about it real quick. We're going to talk about James Wedmore and the launch, new enrollment of his Business by Design program. We're also going to talk about the launch and opening of Comedy Alley 2023. Comedy Alley is back May 27th. And we're going to spend a lot of time talking about how you can turn your creative skills into income and take more control of your own career and your own life. And in general, though, I think the if there's a theme for this is the theme that I'm feeling. I feel a renewed sense of vigor and enthusiasm that is spring. Spring has sprung. How do you feel about spring, BK?
It's nice.
It's nice. Yeah. You know what? I feel like I've been in caterpillar mode for a few months, just all curled up, and now I'm a beautiful
butterfly.
Beautiful butterfly.
You look at my wings.
Soaring majestically right now.
Look,
Yeah, sunshine's coming up. Patio season's coming out. Comedy Alley is going to be back. And I like spring. Spring is sprung. It's a real, it's obviously a metaphor for growth and for developing, for reaching new levels. So this is what this episode is going to be. So if you're watching on Facebook right now, you're watching on YouTube, share this out with your actor, comedian, creator friends, anyone who you think would be in for growth and the transformation that is once being a caterpillar turning into a majestic butterfly. I don't know how does a butterfly like this? I don't know. I have to study them a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a great episode today. Where should we start? Should we start? Can I share a little story with you first? Let's start with the story.
Yeah.
On Saturday, I got invited. A good friend of the studio, Trevor Ketchison from Play Catch Media. Shout out, Trevor. He invited me to go play some touch football, kind of a weekend warrior Saturday morning thing. So I was like, great, that sounds fun. Go out, meet some of his buddies, get some exercise in the morning. And I haven't played football for, 20 years probably. I mean, I never really played it, but so I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good. I'm going to go get some exercise, some fresh air, some sunshine, feel good. And so we get out there. We're tossing the old pigskin around. We're stretching. I'm getting loose, getting warm. My body's starting to feel about the time when I used to be an athlete. So I'm starting to get fired up about sports. And 10 minutes into the game, I think we had an incomplete drive one way. They had an incomplete drive the other way. And then 10 minutes into the game, it's fourth down and goal, and we're going to go for it. And so my quarterback, he's doing the things on the ball. Okay, you go here, you go there. Basically, he tells us, get to the end zone. So I line up against Trevor, and I do the exact thing that I told myself before the game that I would not do. In my head, I'm like, just take it easy. You don't want to pull a muscle. You don't want to hurt yourself. Like, don't do that stupid weekend warrior where you try to be a hero. But the second it was fourth down and goal, I see Ketchison down. He's defending me. And in my head, my ego kicks in and I'm like, I'm faster than Trevor. I can run. I'm going to blow past Trevor. I'm going to give him a little, maybe I give him a little deke or something, but I also know it's Saturday morning. I think he's had a late night the night before. So he's still waking up. So in my head, I'm like, I got you, Ketchison. I'm going to blow past you. I'm going to be wide open in the end zone. The quarterback's going to throw me a perfect pass. I'm going to catch it in the end zone. Maybe I dive and catch it. Everyone's going to go fucking wild. We're going to have this amazing sports moment. So we start. I do the first part accurately. I blow past Ketchison. I'm in the clear, in my head like a gazelle, like just full stride lengths. Everything's going perfect. And I'm in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do it. This is it. This is working perfectly. And then instead of the ball being passed to me and me scoring a touchdown, I feel in my left hamstring a little twing and immediately come up limp. You know that thing when you're sprinting? Like this is, I'm going to show you what I look like in the moment. It was like this. And Trevor was like, no, behind me. He just kind of saw me blow by. But it was much faster. It was more like this. It was more like Superman, where it was just, but slow motion, and then doing, and it instantly pulled up. And I've pulled muscles before, and those of you who have, you know it when you do it, especially when you do a bad one. Like you feel like a spring kind of give out and just blow up in your leg. And I immediately start limping. I sulk back to the huddle at the end of the play. I don't know if anyone saw it because I didn't fall down or anything, but I'm just like, hey guys, I regret to inform you that I just pulled my hamstring and I'm done. So I had to exit the game 10 minutes in. But the silver lining is I took over as cameraman because Trevor Ketchison at Play Catch Productions was shooting teaser trailer for the Saturday morning league. And he was getting footage. So then I became the handheld cameraman and saved the day. I've saved the day.
There you go.
Yeah, all was saved. But the lesson was, it was funny because when it happened, I was like, no, instantly I'm like, great, my game's done. 10 minutes in, this is over for me. And then I instantly went to my schedule in my head. I'm like, does this injury fuck up other things in my schedule, right? Like, is this going to ruin any other things? And I was like, no, I don't think so. I think I'm going to be okay. And then it was just like, well, I'll use the camera. So I meant immediately to what am I going to do? Am I going to go sit on the sidelines and sulk about how I wanted to play football and now I'm injured and what a terrible, terrible day this is going to be? Or I was like, I'll just shoot some footage. So stay tuned for some Saturday morning footage is what I'm going to say from Play Catch media. And Weekend Warriors, part of the springtime to summertime, don't go hard. Next time I play, I'm just going to go 70%, just lollygagging and just not pulling my leg. It was brutal. It still hurts. I can't walk right now. I can't touch my toes. The only way I can touch my toe is I have to, you can't see it right now. I can't straighten this one leg anymore. So if we have any hamstring experts out there, a hamstring doctor, are you? Do you have any hamstring expertise?
Yes, I believe I have some hamstring medicine. It's in my bag.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. What's it called?
Hamstring-a-strong.
Hamsporin? Hamstrongen?
Hamstrongen. Yeah.
10 milligrams, please. I'll take 10 milligrams of hamstrongen. Yes. So there's that's my spring story. I'm recovering well. I believe I will be back to the league. So stay tuned for my heroic return. What an idiot. So today we want to talk a little bit more about James Wedmore and his Business by Design program. To let you know, James Wedmore is my business coach and mindset coach. In June 2021, I joined his program, Business by Design. And in a nutshell, what that is, it's a rapid growth system containing complete roadmaps, or what James likes to call the Lego instruction manuals to his business that he's created. And he's created 7 and 8 figure businesses. And Business by Design has helped me start, grow, and scale our comedy production here, Laughing Vikings, and also our online membership, Actors Audition Club. And what James's program has done for me is just provided step-by-step playbook instructions for all pieces and phases of our digital business here. So we're going to talk a lot about James Wedmore's program over the course of this month. And why are we doing this? Because the challenge for creators, those of you who are watching and listening, especially those of you who are actors, comedians, and creators like us, often we don't have control over our income. We work in an industry. There's 3 things that are, I would say, vulnerabilities to being an artist when it comes to making money. And one of those is it's often controlled by gatekeepers, meaning you can't just go out and get the money. You have to get approval. You have to win an audition. You have to be given a job. You have to be given a gig. Someone has to kind of invite you into that game to be on stage, to be on camera, to do a show. And you don't always have control over that. The other thing is we're often trading time for money, which isn't scalable. Like, you got to just be here. You got to spend your time. There's only so much time in a day. There's only so many days in a year. So if you're always trading time for money, that can become an issue where you reach a cap. And the other thing is often it's location dependent, meaning you have to be somewhere as a performer. You have to go to set. You have to be on stage. You got to be in a city. You got to be in a place. So between that, you got to trade time for money. You got to be somewhere specific to do it. And you only get to be there when someone else says you can be there. Those are challenges for a lot of artists in figuring out, look, how do I make money from my art? How do I pay my bills? And most artists, I'm not saying you are doing it because you want to make money. You're probably doing it because you love it. It's a passion. It's something that lights you up. But in the 3D world of having to pay bills, you got to figure that out too. So we're going to talk today about several ways, and treat this like a brainstorm session, really. We're going to talk about several ways that you can take skills that you already have as a creative, as a performer, as an actor, as a comedian. What skills do you already possess that you can monetize, that you can turn into something that generates income for you, so that you don't just have to sit back, wait for an email from your agent, wait for an email from a producer or a booker offering you a job. Instead, you can take your skills and then use those skills to really create your own business and create money on demand. So we're going to categorize these skills, things that you have right now. I've got a few categories, but one thing that most performers have, actors and comedians, is we all have a voice. So your skills with your own voice, whether it's singing, teaching accents, dialects, maybe it's the language, whatever your native language is, you can use your own voice and the skills that you have used to develop your own voice to share with others. And you can actually take those voice and speech skills that you have and monetize them. We're going to talk about how to do that, but we're just focusing, just consider this part. This is just skills. Take stock. What are the things that you're really great at and that you have a level of expertise, meaning you've probably done a lot of workshops, you went to school, maybe you went to university, you took training, or you've got years of experience working in the business as an actor or a comedian. What are all those things that you've learned that then you can pass on to other people to help them in their lives and their careers? So voice is one. Brandon, speaking of voice, I know that you've been dealing with some voice issues and attending a lot of voice classes. So can you speak a little bit about voice skills, whether it's singing, accents, dialect, languages?
I definitely understand where Tom Todorow's coming from, where it's the most important aspect of your creative career, especially as an actor, performer, stand-up comedian, singer, whatever. It is your instrument. And when you lose it, I have never felt more scared in my entire life after losing my voice for a whole week. And even then, like after that, there was dips and dives into like my recovery from it. And like I've had to do a lot of research. I've had to look up things that I wasn't expecting to, and I've asked people for help, and that's always a scary thing as well. Like sometimes the best thing you can do is just ask people for help, because the people around you know at least a little bit, and you can take those tidbits and create something that is tangible for you. And like everyone sort of has their own home remedies in a way, and some of those I've taken and I'm now using every day. Lars has been making fun of me for the last little while because I keep walking around with a straw in my mouth. But
constantly
and now I just go into restaurants and I take as many of those cardboard straws as I can, so that I'm practicing all the time with it, because it's one of the most helpful tools I have learned. And it got recommended about 3 times by Erin Elizabeth Reed, who's teaching our Tune Up Tuesdays. My friend Julius Cho, who was on an episode, he was a guest, and he has been working consistently in voiceover, TV, film, like whatever, and a couple other people as well. And like it has been one of the best techniques I have picked up since then, and it's definitely one of the most helpful. But you don't know these things until you do actually ask for help. And I think that's so vitally important, especially if you're starting out with a business as well, Lars. Like as you know, like getting people to help you out and getting people that you can trust, so that they are on your side and on your team, right? Like that's so vitally important for anything that you do, and especially when you are using your voice as often as performers, stand-up comedians, what have you are. You only get one. And if you lose it, then you're stuck with that machine that goes, right? That smoker machine, right?
Right. So, yeah, I mean, that's an amazing testimony to how important it is, especially performers. So the purpose of this episode is, if you are an actor who has those skills and you have training,
don't abuse it.
Don't abuse it. But what we're talking about is those skills, you can monetize those into their own income and revenue generating activities. But whether that's to actors or to people who just aren't in the creative field, it's like you could teach voice, you could teach singing, you could teach accents, dialects, English. So yeah, that whole realm of voice, if you're an actor, you're a comedian, all those skills, obviously you monetize them in the traditional way of performing on stage and being on set and doing shows. But those skills that you've learned, if you're able to package them and put them together in the form of training, it's such a valuable and indispensable thing for performers, that it's so valuable to then become a person who can teach it. You mentioned Erin Elizabeth Reed. She's running our Tune Up Tuesdays. That's a free voice and speech workout that we do every Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern time. And you can register for free at laughingvikings.com/workouts. And she runs through a warm-up and a workout of voice and speech. We end that every week with 15 minutes of general audition Q&A. So if you're new to our community here at Actors Audition Club, whether you're an actor or a comedian, or maybe you're neither of those things and you just want to work on your voice, register at laughingvikings.com/workouts for those. The next category of skills that you have as a performer or as a creator that you could take and monetize into your own business are all your physical skills. And you look at actors, it's really voice and speech, and it's our bodies. It's actions through our bodies. We're actors, acting, moving, and through our voice. And with the exception of mime, obviously, but that's very physical. So those
Create
of you
your own clown show. That's
well, what I was going to say is you have skills, dancers, movement people, gymnastics, sports people. So maybe you're an actor, you're a comedian, but you're also a high-level tennis player. There's an opportunity to be teaching tennis and coaching tennis, or using those skills. Again, the traditional way where, okay, you're going to be hired on a special skill set to be the tennis pro, or it's teaching your tennis skills to other people and starting your little side hustle. And yeah, like I would think tennis, swimming, people who are into horses and equestrian and have access to horse riding. Shout out to Steel and Steed, Justin Moses, who was on the show. He runs, they have access to all these horses that they rent out to productions. So he also runs workshops for actors to learn how to safely ride and also safely fall for stunt actors. And you see them when they're in like horse fights or like, old timey war scene, and the guy falls off the horse. Well, how does he not kill himself doing that? You got to train to do that. So that's something where Justin in Steel and Steed, he's put all his horsemanship skills together and the riding skills and the stunt skills. Now he's offering workshops and intensives. So look at
intimacy director.
Yeah. Take what I'm suggesting to everyone is take stock of your physical skills. What sports? Many of you listening are also like certified gym people, where you've taken kinesiology classes and you've become certified in gym coaching and fitness coaching, but maybe you haven't fully monetized that or used that. Any other physical skills that you can think of that actors have? Like we talked about dance, movement, gymnastics, specific sports. Anything else I'm missing? Stunts, I guess, would be in that realm. Stunts are actually fighting is a good one. A lot of times in TV and film and movies, people need to learn how to like realistically. There's the part of looking like you're a real fighter, but then there's also the part of learning it for camera and for stage. So there's the stage combat side of things, but then there's also just like learning the sport specific skills of being able to look like a person who is fully trained at a high level. And then the extra on top of that is now how do you do it safely for film and television or safely on stage? Because we're obviously not actually punching people when we're on TV or on stage. So there's both of those opportunities for stunt people with stunt skills. Any others?
None that I can think of right now.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I mean, like butchery.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Carpentry. If you're a woodworker or something like that,
right?
Like,
yeah,
that's a physical skill, or even a construction worker, like that's a
What this episode is that now I'm thinking about it, is it's taking your own like life Venn diagram, and you have a circle of your life that is you're a performer, you're an actor, you're a creator, but you probably have another Venn diagram over here of other skills, previous jobs you've had, previous technical skills, previous creative skills. So, and those things, they could be like your ace in the hole. Those are the things that make you very unique as a human being, unique as a teacher, as a coach. Your story as a result is very specific and a one-of-a-kind thing. So if you can marry your world of being an actor and a creative with some of these skills that you already have and bring them in. And then I would say that the third thing is the business skills and the structure and the marketing and the sales side of things, because it's you can be a creative and you can have these skills, but you need to marry them with the structure of a business and pair it with marketing to get eyeballs on it and to eventually get clients and to bring money and income into you. Go ahead.
And another thing, I'm not sure if this will count as physical or not, but one of our friends, Shannon Kelly, makes and sells masks that she knits and creates herself at farmers markets and such. And that's a physical skill. Like also like costume designing or making props or something like that.
There we go.
Like,
now we're cooking. Yeah, and those are things that like people maybe you don't think about it, but I think a lot of times, sometimes people don't think about it because they do think about it and they have thought about it, but that little fucking voice, either in her own head saying like, who are you to do this, or there's already people doing that. You're how are you going to be the expert, or you're not known, or what would they say? Like you have these imaginary voices of a family member or a friend, or just this gray generic they that isn't really anyone in the back of your head saying like, no, who are you to do this? Like that whole imposter syndrome thing holding you back, when it might be the key that unlocks all kinds of things for you in your performer life as well. And this is all of this is in the theme of like, yes, we all want to be my highest value activities is being on stage or being on set. Those creative things, that's my highest pay per day, per hour, is doing a show, being on stage, being on camera, booking a role in a TV show, a film, or a commercial. But when I'm not doing those things, it's how am I figuring things out on my own and making things happen. So the other things is, so we've got voice for actors, we got physicality, and technical skills, I think, is another huge opportunity. There's huge leaps and bounds happening right now in AI. That's going to be a real thing, but then like every other AI as a tool, it's how do you use that? It's never like humans are going to be here, I assume, until we're not. So a lot of people maybe are being scared of AI. Oh, they're going to take all of our jobs. It's just like, how do you, if certain things are commoditized by AI or done by AI, great. What's the human factor that you can still control? So there is still technical skills like editing, podcasting. So that's, editing video, editing audio, photography, videography. You have skills. Many of you do have those skills. Like, sure, AI apps are going to take over part of that, but then there's still going to be the people programming the AI and giving the prompts and figuring out how do we actually harness that AI. So you have all those skills that you could be creating things yourself, creating things for other people, working as freelance. Any other technical skills you can think of, Brandon?
Editing.
Yeah, editing. Whether it's like some people, it's on.
You could edit. Like journal pieces or blogs or something like that, or because editing is not just video editing, right? It's right. Also like writer editing. Like you can become a producer out of that as well.
Copy editing, video editing, audio, music, podcasts.
Yeah.
Shout out to my buddy John McMillan, Johnny Mac Daddy. He's from my hometown. John's from my hometown. I went to high school with John. Good to see you, John. Hope you're well. Actually, I don't know if you're in the Aurelia area still or if you're out west. I feel like at some point you might have moved to Saskatchewan. Wherever you are, if you're going to be near Bracebridge in Muskoka, north of Aurelia, on May 26th, John, I'll be there at Bracebridge Hall with Bob Rubin doing a stand-up show. So shout out to Johnny Mac. Let us know in the comments, Johnny. Let us know what you're doing, what you're working on, and what specifically has inspired you. I'm curious. I want to see the what's the next empire that John McMillan builds here. It's going to be great. All right, where were we? So we talked about some of these skills. Again, this is just brainstorming. Take the skills that you already possess, things that people come to you for. If you're wondering, if you're struggling with this, what do people come to you for? What do people ask you about? I would say you can also marry that with what do you enjoy doing? What are you passionate about doing? What have you taken courses for? Even if it's YouTube University, what have you invested a lot of time and energy in so that you're a little further ahead than everyone? And again, you don't need to be the number one world expert at this. You just need to be the best advice I ever heard is you're the best person positioned in the world to help someone get from where you used to be to where you are today, and just shortening that gap. That's all you need to do when you're a teacher or a coach or putting together a service or a product. You're just mostly saving people time. Like, how can they get from here to here? You're giving people a transformation and an exchange in value. This is what I have to offer. This is what I can help you with. And if you do the things I've done, you'll get from here to here. That's really all we're doing. And that's all we're doing here at Actors Audition Club. When people come into one-on-one audition self-tape sessions, they come in and their performance and their audition and their ideas about the scene are here. And we hope that we can sprinkle some of our ideas onto it and collaborate with them and help them unlock a few things, ask questions, get them to dig a little bit deeper, get them to be a little more imaginative, maybe a little more playful, and just maybe make stronger choices so that they're up here. And that's why, as a business, Actors Audition Club has been thriving in our online membership, is because we're helping people move from here to here. You take people on a journey with your service or with your skills. So how do you do this? If you've looked at yourself and be like, okay, I got 2 or 3 things that I think are viable. I help people with it. I like doing it. I think I'm a bit of an expert, maybe not the number one world expert, but I've learned a lot of things. What you need to do is the next step is, what container do you put that in for the sales and marketing world? You got to put that in a box, because if you're just like, I know blank, people don't know what to do with that. So you need to put it in the form of a product or service or an offering, so that people are like, oh, okay, this is what he or she has available. This is what he's offering. And this is the price is part of that offer. So some of those containers that you can put your skills in, and there's so many, like has there ever been a better time to start a business in the world ever. Like there's more millionaires made on a daily basis than ever before. I'm not one of them yet, but I am an aspiring millionaire. And it's been through James Wedmore's coaching and Business by Design. He's really helped me do that and helped me start to put things in place and build the structure around the skills that I naturally have and the skills that our team here at Actors Audition Club and Laughing Vikings has. So some of those containers that you can take your skills. So you got your skills. These are the things. Now, what do I do with them? I'll just rattle through a bunch and we can talk about the details. Digital downloads. That means ebooks, PDFs, audio. That could be music albums, could be stand-up albums, sketch albums, but digital downloads, information you put online. People download it either for free in exchange for their information or for whatever price you set, depending on what the thing is. Online courses. And the difference between an online course and just a digital download is the digital download is usually helping people with one specific thing, or it is one thing, whereas an online course focusing more on a journey and a transformation, probably a little more in depth than an online course as well. But that could be audio courses, that can be video courses, that can be a combination of audio, video, PDFs. That could be podcasting. You might have this skill or an interest right now, and it's like the thing that could unlock it for you is you just start a podcast, build an audience, and then you figure out how to monetize that. You make the podcast, the marketing and the media for that business. So even if it was carpentry, you start a carpentry podcast and talk about all the fun projects and be real specific. And then the clips from that podcast end up being the clips that bring people into your carpentry services or your carpentry workshops or your carpentry online course or your digital downloads. Here's the top 10 things to do to begin your carpentry career, whatever it is. We're spitballing all of this stuff. Also, group teaching and coaching, put together group classes, workshops. You can do one-on-one clients, one-on-one coaching, where you just literally find one person who who wants the thing that you have, and you teach them what you did to get there. Also freelance services. And then for all the actors and performers out there, live events. So put together your own shows, put together your own workshops, put together your own retreats. It could be keynote speaking at corporate and charity events. Could be putting your own conferences and summits on, put on your own weekend intensive. And these days that can all be virtual as well. We don't like, we all, with the rise of virtual events, or that can be hybrid where you do stuff in person, but then you got a hybrid element so people can tune in or they can access the replays online. So those are just a few of the ways that you could take all those skills. And ideally you want them to be things that can be digitally consumed, because that means you have global distribution. And ideally, the more it's scalable, meaning you can grow it without having to grow your own input. So you can grow the output. So something like making something digitally available, 1 million people can download that and buy your course, but you don't need to physically be there to see 1 million people necessarily. You could do group things for that. So versus one-on-one, when you do one-on-one or you do hourly, the trap with hourly and one-on-one is you can only take on so many hourly clients. You can only take on so many one-on-one clients. So if you're thinking of that, you just got to be careful how you price it, because if you price things too low, it's a race to the bottom. And all of a sudden you're like, I don't have enough time to make any money because I've priced myself so low and there's only so many hours in the day. So again, digital downloads, online courses, podcasts, group teaching and coaching, one-on-one coaching, freelance services, and live events. Any that I've missed there, Brandon, that you can think of? Or second question is, when you take stock of your own skill, do any of those jump out to you where you think like, yeah, I could do that, and that's pretty easy, and I could make that available, and that's something that I could generate some revenue from?
Did you mention vlogging at all?
Yeah, no, I didn't, but that's a great a great example.
Yeah,
it's probably in the podcasting realm, video blogging, vlogging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people are always looking up random questions, or how to do something, or how to assemble something, or what have you. And if you know a lot about SodaStream, like you can make a couple videos about that and help people make soda. And that sort of thing. Or my friend Chris George, he created a board game channel called Room and Board, and now he is working in Vegas full time, running their annual board game competition. He still has the channel that he is now reviewing games that companies are now paying him to review, and like you never know, like one interest, one hobby can lead you to so many great things, and even better things than you could have even imagined. And like he's still acting on the side. He's going to Halifax to do a Shakespeare show over there. But like the main business now is the Room and Board video YouTube channel.
Right. Yeah, which also frees them up. Like a lot of times people, the challenge for performers is, well, how do I make this my full-time thing? How do I pay my bills? If only I could just have fun and act and do stand-up and do all this fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need to get it all at once up. Like a lot of people struggle. They think what it is a false dichotomy. It's thinking I need to be making all my money full-time from my art in this one traditional way, or I need to have my Joe job. And then there's this whole gap and spectrum in between where, like for Chris, he's interested in board games and video games, created this thing. Now that's paying his bills, created other opportunities for him. And that releases all the stress from him as a performer. He doesn't have to think, oh my God, I need to book this gig, otherwise I'm going to be homeless. And which probably frees him up creatively as a performer, so that he's not going in with that tension of, oh, I need this. Now he books gigs and it's kind of bonus. He knows his bills are taken care of. He's got a lifestyle that he's built from this side hustle. And it can be from ideally things that are fun for you and invigorating, things that are fulfilling too. That's another great category is, is, yeah, you look at the things you're really good at. You could look at the things that you can make money from, but also what fulfills you. A lot of times people are making shit tons of money, but they're dead inside because they hate what they're doing. They're not aligned with the mission of the company that they're working with, or what the actual thing is. So really, what lights you up at the end of your life? What is going to be fulfilling? What's helping other people? What's inspiring you on a daily basis? And if you can align those things, and that's really what we're talking about, is alignment. There's a false kind of hustle. Like I feel like there's the work hard people, there's the work smart people, and then something that James Wedmore talks about is really it's alignment. As like, you don't, like, working hard isn't the answer, because you can work. Some people work super hard and they never get anything to show for it. Some people work super hard, they get everything, but then they lose their family and their health as a result. And working smart, that has its challenges as well. But it's really about, how do you figure out what works for you, taking all your universally gifted skills that make up you as a human being, and then putting that out into the world. So that's what we're talking about here. And that's such a good example. So yeah, you like a video game, you're super into Rubik's cubes, so you start your Rubik's Cube podcast, or you start teaching people how to solve a Rubik's cube in 24 hours, or whatever it is. There's ways to do that. We're speaking, I know our audience is majority creatives, actors, comedians, so look at those skills that you have, and then look at what is it. And I would say, look at the biggest thing. What's the biggest thing that you could possibly create? Think big, meaning solve bigger problems for people, have a bigger impact. What's the top level? Is that putting on a comedy festival? Is that writing your own feature film? Is that creating your own weekend intensive, or creating your own online membership? And then also the flip side to that is something called the MVP, the minimum viable product. What's the simplest, fastest thing that you could put together to test and put out to the market, rather than being like a perfectionist and be like, oh, I got to go into the laboratory for 6 months and disappear and then come out with this amazing thing? What's the downloadable ebook, or what's the downloadable PDF, or what's a quick little audio series, or maybe it's a series of 10 audio sketches that you put together. Or for the stand-up comedians of you, all those stand-ups who have not recorded an album, if you don't have some of your material recorded on video or an audio, why don't you do that? James Wedmore's Business by Design program, during the pandemic, I had audio of one of my past stand-up shows that I was able to package, and then using some of James' systems for online business and digital downloads, made my first album, Silly Goose, available. And that made me over $1,000 in extra revenue just on digital downloads. And I never would have thought of it beforehand. So it's like, how can you take things you already have, package them, and put them out there? So just take stock of those things, and decide, and just pick one or two of those. It can be overwhelming too. Well, I could do a workshop, I could do an intensive, I could make a podcast. So the challenge is, pick one thing and see it through. James talks about building bridges. So the reason that you would want to create a business or create a new revenue source is you have a gap in your life where you are. Maybe it's a financial gap, maybe it's a fulfillment gap, maybe it's just a lifestyle gap. You want to get somewhere else in your life. So you got to build a thing to get you there. What is that going to be? The problem, though, is a lot of people start building these bridges, and they build half bridges. So they start to build a podcast, and then they don't keep up with the episodes, or they start to plan an album and they don't actually record it, or they record the whole thing and then they don't release it, or they start to brainstorm about an online course, but they don't release it. So if you picture a river, and all of your dreams and hopes and the lifestyle of your dreams is on the other side of the river, and you're building a container, a business, a digital thing, a side hustle, whatever you want to call it, you're building that bridge to get across. Well, you can't build 10 half bridges. That doesn't get you anywhere. That's going to drown you. So it's figuring out what's the one thing, and I'm guilty of this a lot, and I'm still guilty of it, but I'm learning, is you got to complete things and put it out there, and then you can, like, then you can get to where you need to be. It's a complete bridge. So don't get stuck half bridges. The worst thing you could do is you got a half written story, you got a half shot short film, you got a half created online course. Complete those bridges, but build one bridge at once. And so do the first one, finish it, grow it, and scale it, and then be like, ooh, that's successful. Now I'll start the second thing. And that doesn't mean years and years and years for each thing. That means like 90-day sprints. Another thing that James teaches us is look at 90 days. A week or a month is kind of too short. 6 months or a year is too long. But most major things, you could transform your life in. Most businesses, most products, most workshops. 90 days is enough time to build almost anything. Including feature films and TV shows. Like you could do, if you really press yourself, be like, let's do this whole fucking thing in 90 days. So look at 90-day sprints, decide on something, and be like, this 90 days, I'm going to take this one skill and put it in this one container, and 90 days from now, it's going to be launched, or sooner. Maybe you don't even need, you could do this whole thing. You could compress it down to 1 week. But 90 days, if it's taking you longer than 90 days, like if you thought about starting a podcast and that was 6 months ago, you should have started 90 days ago. It shouldn't take you this long. So get started, pick one of those things. Anything you want to add to that, Brandon?
I like the 90-day rule. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think there's certain 90 days for creating things and creating projects, and also make those revenue generating as well. If you're looking at business, be like, okay, I want to create this course, or I want to launch this, I want to record my album, or I want to write this book, or I want to record this whatever. Look at those 90 days. I also like 30-day, and I know you do this a lot, you do this annual and 30-day, but 30-day challenges or 30-day themes where I know in the month I'm personally working on one thing, but it's to serve that bridge that I'm creating is more of a 90-day thing. So I think it's a good framework to look at it. So we're going to wrap up this Business by Design segment. We're going to list some links where you can get involved with some of James's new training. We'll pop those up in a second, but we're going to share some Wedmore wisdom. It's time for a little James Wedmore Business by Design wisdom, a little woo woo Wedmore, as we like to call him. The first card here, I'm going to share it. It says, don't believe everything you think. Chances are your own fucking brain is the thing that's convincing you not to move forward right now. And I want you to think about this. Think of all the shitty things your own brain says to you that if someone else in your family or a friend or worse, a stranger said that to you, you would be like, fuck you. Who the hell are you to say that shit to me? Get the fuck out of my life. But the shit we say, so like this one, how often have you said, I can't, oh, I'm going to fail. This is scary. No, I can't do it. I doubt it. This is impossible. This is a bad idea. So James says, don't believe everything you think. Your mind can either be your greatest asset or your greatest setback. So what are you going to choose? Are you going to go after what you want, or are you going to waste valuable time and energy trying to talk yourself into self-created obstacles, convincing yourself all the reasons why you can't do this? Boom.
Mine is when you realize when you realize you create your own universe, you don't need to fall apart in order to get your attention. And there's the picture right there. Boom. And you don't, as Lars talked about off the top of this, you don't want to be waiting for gatekeepers to give you an opportunity to audition or to sing for your supper or to finally get paid for the skills that you have. Use your skills and be proactive now so that you don't have to struggle later on. Like I always think of it because January and December are kind of dead months for acting and performing and that sort of thing. But like usually live performances and they keep going on. So you have to be smart about how you're allotting your time so that you're able to do more live performances for December and January so that you're not relying on the film and TV stuff during that time.
Right.
Because it's shut down.
Right. Especially when you know it happens every year. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go again.
Yep.
It's the slow season. I guess I'm going to starve in December. Yeah. What you're speaking of is TV and film by around the second week in December
Yeah.
until mid to late January is kind of a slower period where productions wrap for the holidays and then they slowly come back online in the new year. But you're right. Live performances, because of holiday parties, corporate things, charity events, that's huge opportunities for live performance or to put together your own one man show or a team show, an improv thing, a dinner theater show, stand-up comedians being proactive in that season. You can make great money doing.
And you know what? Your agents will probably encourage you to do those shows at that time because there's nothing else going on.
Right. And then they don't have to get emails from you saying what's going on. And they got to say it's slow right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just be proactive. That's a great, and no matter what avenue, whether you're a creator or not, you kind of have to as a creator because there is no set career path. You got to make things happen yourself. But in any avenue of life, even if you're not in an art thing, an artist, just sitting back and waiting, it's like, guess what? I don't know that anyone's proven that we have more than one life yet. So the presumption and assumption. Now, we all know about assumptions. Maybe I'm going to make an ass out of you and me. But as far as I know, we have one human life in this meat suit in this form. So take advantage of it. Don't be one of those people. That's the reason I am an actor and a comedian and I'm in show business and in the performing arts is because when I was 31 years old, I had that epiphany of like, oh, I don't want to be on my deathbed thinking, what should I have done? If only I shoulda, coulda, woulda. So I got to take a crack at this or it's going to bug me for the rest of my life. And here we are 14 years later. Next one is money doesn't come from effort. Money doesn't come from effort. If money came from effort, then everyone we knew that worked their tails off would be ridiculously wealthy and successful. And we know that is simply not the case. We all know that effort is limited by the amount of time you have in a day and how much energy you have. But successful digital CEOs, creator CEOs, actor, comedian CEOs know how to create money on demand, and they know that the less they do, the more they make. So again, money does not come from effort. And the more you stay stuck in this way of thinking, the more you'll limit your potential. Thank you, James Wedmore. I love that line, and I want to explain it because people misinterpret it. The less you do, the more you make. People will sometimes associate that with laziness. I believe one of the things James is saying there is it's talking about alignment, but it's talking about what are your highest value activities. You look at the things, what are the 3 to 5 things, he calls it the 5% that you and only you can do at your highest level. And you got to figure out how to do mostly those things because that means you're going to be doing your highest value, ideally highest revenue value. So again, for actors, comedians, creators, that's being on stage, being on set, or being in the process of writing something, creating something, developing something, producing something. All the time that you're spent doing other side things that are taking you in the wrong direction and not taking you in the direction of your dreams are slowing you down. But remember, money really doesn't come from effort. People are making millions of dollars right now doing nothing, like literally doing nothing. They've done the work. Maybe they set something up, and there's other people working in a mine, working the most physically active, horrific job that you could be doing, and they're being paid pennies. So it's not about trading time for money. It's not about effort. It's alignment. You got another one here?
There are people in this world that will never become their best until you become your best.
Ooh.
which I
Ooh.
absolutely love this. One of the reasons that I love performing in the pantomimes and I love doing children's theater is because I get to be a part of someone's very first show. I get to be a part of a memory that they will hold with them forever, because they'll say, "Oh yeah, I remember when I went back and I saw Princess and the Pea," or "I remember
Right.
when I went to see Cinderella." And maybe I want to become an actor down the line. Maybe I want to become a director. Maybe I want to become a writer. Maybe I want to do I want to be something creative. I want to be in that world. And that absolutely inspires me. And I love hearing the children's laughter, and I love being a part of that memory for them. And that doesn't come unless you are doing your best, because you don't remember the people that like weren't great.
Yeah.
You remember the people that made you
Yeah.
laugh. You
I remember when
remember,
I was a kid and I saw that guy doing that mediocre thing. And that
yeah,
really inspired me.
yeah.
And I was like, I want to be mediocre.
I want to be mediocre just like that guy.
Uncommitted, dabbling, mediocre. Doesn't seem like he cares about it at all.
But
Uh,
yeah, and
that's-
like every year there are new people and new actors that are joining the community, and really they wish they could be where you are right now. They wish they were at the position you're at. And everyone, you may think of yourself as the bottom rung on whatever list, or someone doesn't like you or whatever, but people that are just entering this business see you as someone that's made it, and see you as someone that has been doing it consistently for a long time.
right.
And the more, I mean, I think as you go along in the business, you have to take away that ideology, because really everyone is at the same, not at the same level, but like they have similar abilities, they have their weaknesses, they have they're human.
They're human. Yeah,
They're
they're in
human.
their own experience and their own human journey. Then
Mhm.
that's what we do have all in common. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
like,
that's
because you're helping someone that's starting out, or they're seeing you and being inspired by what you're doing, you're someone special to them.
yeah.
And that means something.
Read that card again.
There are people in this world that will never become their best until you become your best.
Yeah. I like that one because there's a tinge of I mean, I kind of feel that for the most part, most guilt is a wasted emotion, but there's a little bit of like not being your best and not reaching for your dreams and being your best self and going for it is selfish in a way. And it's not serving. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve other people, but it certainly doesn't serve other people. Seeing someone, whether it's your family or your friends, think of the impact that you can have on your family life, your friendship, your close circles, other artists, other actors around you. When you become that magnetic, radiant person who's like, oh, fuck, that person's just going for it. They're not asking for permission. They're not getting lost in imposter syndrome. They're just living their truth, being who they are best to be, not in a perfect way, not in a unflawed way, but they're just going for it. Those are the people that light things up. I love what you said about like, think about a kid. Yeah. How many stories? Almost every kid who's in the arts or in any avenue, whether it's an astronaut or a construction worker or a train conductor, at some point they're like, I saw, when I was a kid, I saw someone doing that thing and it blew my mind. And that's the reason I'm doing that thing now. Sports is another great example. Mm-hmm. So you're doing the world a disservice. The world needs more people operating at high level, top level, their best selves, fully actualized or on the way to full actualization, not playing small. Playing small is not helping anybody. And the one that we want to finish this Wedmore segment on is, just in case you did forget, anything is fucking possible. anything is possible, and trying to argue otherwise will only box you in and limit you further. So just release the idea that things are not possible. Embrace that childhood feeling of when people were like, yeah, you can be anything, you can do anything, you can have anything. The universe is infinite, and literally we are the universe. We're fucking pieces of like light. We're beams of light somehow infused in a meat suit for 80 to 100 years on Earth. But there's maximum abundance, and literally anything is possible. But it all begins with a thought. And if you believe that you can't do it and you believe it's not impossible, that is the reason it's not possible. It's not because it's not possible. It's because you think it is not possible. Anything's fucking possible. I love that. I love that. So thank you, James Wedmore. Now we're going to drop a couple resources. I joined Business by Design in June of 2021. It's had a massive impact on Laughing Vikings, helping us grow our membership here. I believe over 33 members. That brings in a revenue over $1,000 a month, plus around $5,000 a month in our one-on-one audition coaching services. James has helped me produce and host over 80 stand-up comedy shows. That brought in over $15,000 in revenue. Also allowed us to hire and give paid spots to over 100 comedians. His Business by Design systems have helped me hire a virtual assistant who handles all of our social media, graphics, and posting. It's helped us to build a team of audition session directors here and build a thriving community. So huge kudos and thank you to James. But he's releasing his new enrollment for Business by Design is happening in June. So I highly encourage everyone to start checking out his training. He's going to be doing some free training sessions that will blow your mind. And the business training that he'll provide in those 3 days for free, if you've taken any other workshops or classes, even if you've gone to college for business or you've taken a 4-year business program, you'll go to his free sessions and be like, that was better than anything I've ever paid for in my life. And you just gave that to me for free. So you can join the priority waitlist for Business by Design. We've dropped it in the comments. We'll link it up in the audio in the episode show notes as well. But when you hop on that Business by Design waitlist, he's going to start sending you some free resources, some training, some case studies. He's going to start introducing you to some of the coaches that are available through Business by Design, some of their systems and processes. He'll also send you links to his podcast episodes. His podcast, Mind Your Business, is mind-blowing for your mind and for your business. So I highly recommend that. And the other one that we want to drop is he's re-releasing a book he updated and has edited and modernized one of his books called Hardwired for Entrepreneurship. And he's currently giving away the digital download to that book. I think he might also be giving, I know that it's a PDF version. He might be giving the free audio version as well. So we're going to drop that link so you can download a free copy of James Wedmore's book, Hardwired for Entrepreneurship. That he talks about a lot of the mindset and what it takes. So if any of this is resonating for you, and it should, and I really think these days it's like not everyone is cut out for entrepreneurship because there's a certain level of agency and a certain level of leadership that you need, and you need to be able to be a bit of a self-starter, and you need to be able to go after things that aren't currently like they don't exist. I think a lot of entrepreneurship and being a visionary is seeing things in your mind and then making things that aren't real yet, turning them into real things, starting with your thoughts. But that book, Hardwired for Entrepreneurship, will start crystallizing some of those ideas and thoughts for you. So grab that copy of James Wedmore's book. We'll drop the link there. What else do we want to do?
Comedy Alley.
Yes, Comedy Alley. Hey, wait. Let's do it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Comedy Alley is back. We got a grand opening Saturday, May 27th, 8 p.m. We're back for our first show. That first show is going to feature me. I'll be hosting. And our headliners, we were showcasing 3. We have Bob Rubin, Jeremy Dobsky and Stephanie Neal. Jeremy Dobsky is a local Toronto comedian. He's a regular here at Comedy Alley. Everyone loves him. He's going to be on the show. Stephanie Neal is absolutely hilarious. I'm not sure if she was here last summer or if it was the summer before, but she blew the crowd away that night. And Bob Rubin, the old Rube, is back. He'll be headlining Comedy Alley on May 27th. Grab tickets, laughingvikings.com/Comedy Alley. There's only 20, maybe we'll be able to squeeze 24 seats in there. So grab those tickets fast. Opening night coming up. Brandon, you excited for Comedy Alley?
Yeah.
Yes. And I just want to ask you, Brandon, aren't you glad Comedy Alley's back? See what I did there? I said, orange, you glad? And it's an orange. Which is not an orange. It is a orange shaker. There we go.
It's driving me bananas, this long wait.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Yes. So super excited for that. Grab tickets. They're going to go fast. We're going to do shows. I should let everyone know. Comedy Alley is back starting May 27th. But we're going to do shows every Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. So you can grab tickets. They're $25. You can be in our VIP audience. Only 20 people allowed in our intimate outdoor venue. Maybe 24. We'll see. I don't know what the most people. I feel like the most people we had was maybe 30, 35 at a Free Filler showcase. But generally 20 to 24 tickets. So we do sell out on the reg. Grab those tickets. We're getting the alley in shape right now. It's starting to shape up nice. It's looking good back there. Painting tables. We're getting new signs. I got signs ordered. We got new velvet ropes. We got new red carpets. Some good stuff happening. So we'll see you in the alley. And Bracebridge Hall. We're coming to Bracebridge. Myself and Bob Rubin. The night before Comedy Alley opens, we're going to be at Bracebridge Hall up in beautiful Muskoka. Shout out to Keith and Mikey at Bracebridge Hall. 8 p.m. You can get tickets at bbhall.ca. I'll be the opener. Bob Rubin, who you've seen on Fox, and his special oddities and rarities, or is it rarities and oddities? Either way, Bob Rubin is a rarity and an oddity and an oddity and a rarity, and you can see him live and in person. He's a legendary stand-up comedian. He's been doing it for 40 years. Started in San Francisco around the same time that Robin Williams and Dana Carvey were crushing it in the San Francisco comedy scene. Lives in Hollywood and spends his time back and forth between Hollywood and Toronto. So you can see him up close in person in Bracebridge Hall Friday, May 26th. And then you can follow him to Comedy Alley May 27th and see him in back-to-back nights. The old Rube. What do you think of Bob Rubin?
Bob.
I love Bob too. Yeah. To know him is to love him. He's one of the most unique stand-up comedy voices out there. He's a great guy. So check us out. You'll see us May 26th, and then you can see us May 27th here in Comedy Alley. Go to laughingvikings.com/Comedy Alley and reserve those tickets. We already sold one. Jason Tushinsky, who's an actor and a member of one of our clients here at Actors Audition Club, he bought the first ticket. So you know what we're gonna do? Let's do it right now. I'm gonna give away a pair of tickets to Comedy Alley, ideally to the opener. So if any of you are watching right now, I can see that some of you are watching on Facebook and on YouTube. If you want Comedy Alley tickets, comment Comedy Alley right now, and I'm going to send you a link with a promo code that's going to get you 2 free tickets to use ideally on the opening night. But if for some reason you've made the silly mistake of booking something else on Comedy Alley's opening night, I will let you use those tickets for another future show on any Friday, Saturday at 8 p.m. But they're going now. Here we go. I know you're watching. I know you want to win tickets to Comedy Alley. Hey, you on the internet right now. You on Facebook. You want to win tickets to Comedy Alley? Hello, you want tickets to Comedy Alley? I see you. Stop scrolling. People are watching this live right now, so it's weird that someone just opened up Facebook and this is the first thing that they saw. Hello. Are we getting any? Here we go. If we end up wrapping up before someone hops on to claim those, we'll just take it to Facebook. So anyone who comments watching the replay, we will send them a promo code to 2 free tickets to laughingvikings.com, or 2 free tickets to Comedy Alley. So final words, BK Broiler.
We want to talk about Tune-Up Tuesdays.
Ooh, yes. A reminder, we briefly touched on it. But if you want to join a free voice and speech class every Tuesday, Tune-Up Tuesdays is at 9:30 Eastern Time. You can access that anywhere in the world. One of our fantastic audition session directors, Erin Elizabeth Reed, who's based in New York, runs that every Tuesday morning, 9:30. That is no charge, free on the house. You can come join us. Voice and speech warm up and workout, and then we wrap up with 15 minutes of general audition Q&A. If you have questions about Actors Audition Club or about our Audition Hero workshops or any other things Laughing Vikings related, that's a great opportunity for you to ask those questions. So book your spot at laughingvikings.com/workouts and join us for Tune-Up Tuesdays. Again, grab the James Wedmore book, Hardwired for Entrepreneurship. You grab his free copy of that digital download, and also sign up for his priority waitlist for Business by Design. He's opening up a new enrollment. I will say this, one of the amazing things about Business by Design is once you're a member for life. So every year I go through with the new cohorts, all his new students, I go through his new training every year. And so I take stock of my entire business and I go through it phase by phase and step by step and piece by piece over and over. So I rinse and repeat. So every year I get a tune up with James Wedmore, who I'm able to go through all aspects of our business to help grow and scale the business. And once you are a member of Business by Design, you're a member for life. So it's amazing. So thank you, James. Thank you, listeners, viewers. Thank you, BK Broiler. Great episode. And we will see. Oh, you want to plug a show too? Let's plug your show. You just got extended too. Yes.
Princess and the Pea just got extended for 6 extra shows on May 21st for doing a 12 p.m. show, and on May 21st we're doing a 3:30 show, and May 22nd, I believe, we're doing a 12 p.m. and a 3:30 show as well. And then May 27th, we're doing a 2:30 p.m. show and a 5:30 p.m. show. And that will be our closing for now, but we may get extended some more. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's very exciting. It's been a fun run.
I'm excited to see it. I still got to go check it out. I wasn't able to go a couple weeks ago, but I will go see. I want to see you in action. Final words here. Rest in peace, Balloon Man. So sorry for our loss. But we should finish on an upbeat. And so I just want you to remember, thank you for tuning in to episode 139. Share this out. And remember, anything is fucking possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
If you want to do anything, it's fucking possible.
Podcast out.